Hi, I'm Pawel, I make games and I'm gonna show you how to improve this basic endgame screen really quickly. First, let's change the text to something like "You escaped and sent us back." And maybe let's change its font size to a little bit smaller number, and let's break this line over here. I think it's also a good idea to move this text a little bit up and change its name to "You win" text. Now we need a restart button, so let's duplicate this game object, change its text, and let's move it a little bit down. -4 is not enough, so let's go with -200. To keep everything organized, let's rename it now. For now it's really boring, so let's change its color to make it stand out. Alright, something like that is fine. Now let's go to our assets and to our sprite sheet, and let's grab this number 1. It will be player copy dancing because it is dancing, and it's not a real player but only its sprite. Now we need to move it up and to move it a little bit closer to the center. Okay, and as we got it, we may duplicate this game object and move it to the right. Now the scene looks cool, but we still need to create dancing animations. So let's create one animation data and let's name it player dancing. We have only 2 sprites for dancing, so let's set the size to 2 and use number 1 and 2. We also need to check loop option and set frames of gap to 20. As we got it, we may select both player copies and add sprite animator there. Now we need to put player dancing as a base animation and use sprite render of every player copy in its sprite animator. Now let's see how it looks like. For me it's fine, but I know that we can do better, so let's go to the "You win" text and check color gradient here. Now let's go to the top left color and let's pick something gray here. Let's say 5C, 5C, 5C is okay for us. Now we need to do the same with the top right color. Let's use the same effect on restart text. I think it's too much of it there, so let's change it to A2, A2, A2 and use it in the top right color too. Now let's create a new UI image and move it all the way down to the restart text. Alright, and as it is in the middle, we need to make it wider to cover up the whole text, and let's change its alpha to 0. After it's done, we need an event trigger. And here we need to select pointer click. Now we need to click this little plus icon to create a new element. That's how we will call a new function we are going to create in a moment. It will be a public void called restart game, of course. What else could it be? Now we need a new library, unityengine.scenemanagement. And inside the restart game function we need to write scenemanager.loadScene. In this project we have only one scene and it loads as the game loads. That's why it's a scenemanager.getActiveScene.buildIndex. So we get our active scene and send its index to this function. Let's say we leave this scene as it is now and hit play, we do some changes while playing the game and then we hit restart. Our game scene goes all the way back to the beginning and that's exactly what we need. In our example, it is the same as closing and opening the game again. Now let's rename this image to restart button and make restart text a child object of this image. Lastly, let's put our main camera inside this event trigger and use GameManager.RestartGame here. Now as we play the game, we may hit this restart button and the scene is reloaded. It's time to set the scene inactive, set the scene 1 active and make our player visible again. Now let's go to the setup and let's change his required item ID. We can see he's hiding us in his bag and we win the game. If you want an extra delay before going to the end screen, you may go to the game manager, open curly brackets here and use yield return new, wait for seconds there. Now the screen isn't going black just as the player vanishes. And that's the end of this episode. In the next one we will create a intro scene. And if you want an extra challenge, you may make one by yourself, compare it with my version and check out what I have added to make this functional. To make things easier, you may duplicate your endgame scene and edit it. Good luck, have a good day and see you soon!